Imagine decorating cookies for Instagram, social media, or for your website without having to even turn the oven on. No baking, no wasted dough, just pure decorating bliss. This is Liz from easycookiedecorating.com, and today I'm going to be showing you a product that's a real game changer if you're a cookie decorator and you love to make content, or if you're looking to practice a technique without having to bake a batch of cookies every time. It's called cookie clay, and it's made by the brand 𝑽𝑰𝑺𝑉. When I first heard about this, I was really intrigued because as a content creator who makes a lot of cookies, it can be a real struggle to have to make batches of cookies every time, make the icing, put all that work into it just for the fact that I'm showing it on camera. So when I heard that there was a type of clay out there that mimicked the look of the cookie, and you could cut it out just like a cookie and ice it just like a cookie with royal icing, I was really intrigued. And it's not that I'm looking to cut corners or fake it online. I work a full-time job. I do this on the side. I run another blog on the side. I also have a life. So any time-saving factor that I can incorporate into my work or my videos, I am all for that. So I thought this would be a really cool product to have. The other thing too is there's a cost factor to creating content online, right? So every time we have to make a batch of cookies, you're spending money on butter, sugar, eggs, flour. Those ingredients are really expensive nowadays. I would much rather have those funds to make cookies for friends and family than just to show a quick video online where I'm showing a royal icing technique. It's about the royal icing and less about the cookie itself. I've never used it before. I literally just took it out of the box right now. So I thought we could give it a test together and see what it's all about. So the size I got is 600 grams, and it says it's good enough for about 8 cookies. It is non-toxic, which makes me feel really good about using it in the kitchen and using it with my actual cookie cutters and different tools that I use for cookie decorating. More importantly, it is reusable. So once the royal icing dries on top, you can kind of peel that off and then just smush the cookie clay back together and put it in the resealable bag. It does say here that it contains wheat or gluten. So if you are gluten-free or you're working in a gluten-free kitchen, probably not a good idea to have this. I haven't heard of Embossers before, so this company is new to me. This is the only product I've ever purchased from them. They are located in Australia. I'm in the US, I'm in New Jersey, so it did take quite a while to receive the item due to shipping time, shipping it from Australia. As far as price goes, this 600 gram bag, I believe, was one size up from the lowest or smallest bag they had. And it did cost around $60, which, is up there in price in the world of cookie tools. But considering how much cost savings you'll get in ingredients and saving your time as well, don't forget your time has a value to it. I would say this probably is going to be a very good investment for you. So I'm excited to give it a try. Let's give it a go together and see what we can create. All right, so let's open this up together and see what this cookie clay is all about. Ooh, very cool. Okay. It's literally just one clump of clay. It doesn't really have a smell to it, although I would say if I could compare the smell to anything, it would be Play-Doh. Yep, it smells like Play-Doh. All right, and the color is gorgeous. It looks just like sugar cookie dough, so that's cool. It's nice and soft and has a smooth feel to it. I would say it's not too soft though. You really have to push your finger in there if you want to leave a mark. So it's pretty sturdy in that regard, which is nice. I wasn't sure what to expect in terms of how soft this would be and how difficult it would be to work with. Now just tearing it open, oh my gosh, it looks just like sugar cookie dough. This is crazy. So I can imagine once we put the cookie cutter through it, it's kind of gonna leave that little bit of a rough edge, and
it'll look just like a cookie. So the instructions say when you first take it out of the package to knead the clay. Even though the clay is non-toxic, I'm just gonna lay down a piece of plastic since I'm working directly on my marble here. So I'm just gonna get this a good knead. Wow, this is this is a lot firmer than I was expecting. It doesn't really leave residue on your hands too much. Your hands kind of feel like, not sticky, very, very slight stick, or more of like a, not greasy, but like a slickness on your fingers, but really not that much. I mean, it's not as slick as if you got like silicone on your fingers or anything like that. So, you know, the texture and the feel really isn't too bad, which is nice because the last thing I'd want is to deal with something that's really sticky or oily or, you know, makes your skin not feel good. So let's get this rolled out and cut into cookies. Since I'm only rolling out one cookie as a tester, I'm just gonna put the rest of the clay back in the bag. Okay, I'm just gonna smooth this back out. And just to keep my rolling pin clean, I'm gonna fold over the plastic on top of the clay, just so I don't have to do as much cleanup. Like I said, even though it's non-toxic, I just feel better about not getting my utensils messy if I don't have to. The whole point of this is to save time, so I'd like to also save time cleaning. It rolls very nicely. It's not a lot of pressure to really roll. Rolls nice and even, so that's nice. All right, that's about 1/4 inch. Take our cookie cutter here, and I'm just gonna punch out the cookie. Whoa, that has like a really nice feel when you press down. Peel away the extra dough. And let's see how this came out. It might be a little hard to tell, but this even has like the perfect ridges on the edge, just like you'd get with regular edible cookie dough. Oh, this is beautiful. Beautiful. All right, so I'm gonna take the extra clay here and put it back in our bag. So I would say the 600-gram bag is a really, really good amount for probably anything you need to do, whether it's practicing or taking photos to put on your website to attract new clients. You probably have everything you need within this amount. Okay, now for the moment of truth, let's pipe our icing on top of this cookie clay. What I already like about this is that it, of course, copies the exact shape of the cutter. You don't have to deal with any kind of spreading or inconsistency in shape. My flooding job already isn't coming out that great. I feel like every time I do a demo or something, things go wrong. And I feel so bad because I want to show you guys perfection, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. Okay, looks good. Now I'm gonna let that dry for a little bit and then I'll pipe on the details. I just realized a critical error. Since the cookie part is made out of that clay, which is softer than a baked cookie, now that I've iced the cookie, how am I gonna move the cookie to an area so it can dry? I think if you're gonna be using this, then it's gonna be a smart move to make sure that whatever surface you're piping the icing on, that you don't have to move the clay cookie after you ice it, because that could wreck your entire flood and design. And here's the consequence if you put the clay directly like on the table. Like I had it on the parchment before and then I moved it to the countertop to take photos and I tried to lift it up, but the clay got stuck to the counter. And then when I tried to lift it up, this is what happened. It just kind of cracked all over the place. And so I'm gonna try to quickly move this onto just like a small piece of acetate. Actually, I might use a treat bag. And I'm just gonna try to move that cookie onto the treat bag so that I can move it in an area in my kitchen where it can dry instead of just in the middle of the counter where my cat will step on it. This is gonna be a little soft to handle, so I don't wanna wreck my flood layer. Oh my gosh. By moving it. Okay, luckily my flood's still pretty soft. I'm gonna put it on this treat bag so that I can put it in an area that is safe for it to dry. I let my clay cookie dry overnight. It has been more than the recommended 12 hours. It's actually been 19 hours. I lost track of time just a little bit. So hopefully the clay is okay, but I wanted to kind of unwrap this together just to see how it went. So just peeling the clay cookie off of my treat bag. I feel that the cookie, or the clay rather, is still very soft on the bottom, so that's nice. My royal icing, my little boho rainbow, is fully dried. But let's see if we can just kind of peel this off like they say we can. Oh my gosh, look at it. Wow, okay. The royal icing is a little wet underneath. It's just damp, a little sticky, but otherwise this is fully dry. The clay is also wet on top a little bit from the icing. As expected, the icing is not going to dry underneath on top of a wet surface. And the clay is still very malleable, very soft. It really hasn't dried out at all. So, you know, I would go with the recommended 12-hour dry time, but you know, like I said, it's been 19 hours. If things get a little off track for you, if you don't get to it right away, I'd say you're probably gonna be fine. It's not crusty, it's very soft all around. It hasn't even dried on the sides, so it's pretty incredible. It's still very soft. To get rid of this excess moisture that we experience from the royal icing, the recommendation is to dust this with cornstarch and then kind of kneading that back in before we place this clay back into our resealable bag. So let's do that real quick and then we can get this back in storage. I'm just gonna like kind of lightly dip it in the cornstarch just to kind of get rid of that stickiness. Let's see here. Oh yeah, perfectly soft. I don't really feel any excess moisture anymore. It didn't take much cornstarch to absorb that moisture from the royal icing. With a quick knead and just like a little bit of cornstarch, you're good to go again, and we can put this back in the bag.
This product would help you be a lot more efficient with your time and help you save money. Let me know in the comments, have you tried cookie clay? How would you use it? I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And if you're interested in trying it out, I've dropped a link down in the description, so make sure you pick up a bag and let me know how it goes. This channel is all about keeping cookie decorating easy. So I'll be sharing a lot more product reviews, tips, and tutorials. Make sure you subscribe. You're not going to want to miss it. I'd love to hear your thoughts and suggestions on what I should cover next.